you to open. And this grading manual is it's from Gerber. So if I mean I can't go over this everything, but it gives you how the computer grading works, because it's very different from manual grading. Those who know how to do manual grading, it is really like a, so takes so much time, and it's I don't enjoy manual grading. It's very time consuming, and it really need to be accurate, right? Okay, so when you have a chance
What
to
was it? You said A-line skirt grade rules and which else?
distribution, grade distribution, right below that, I think. Okay, I hope you found it. So this is the uh, grading manual, so you can take a look at it, okay, and it explains more extensively, okay. But I like to, because I'm not real, I'm not a grader, so I will just, from the viewpoint of pattern maker, how this, um, you just need to understand how the computer grading works, okay. All right, so here first, hmm, okay. So that is for first handouts, and the second one is like this. Okay, so second one is this. Okay, so the distribution. Okay, so let me explain first before I'm going to do grading demo. Okay, I'm going to use this airline skirt as an example. Okay, so I don't think this is great. Let me see. No, it's not graded. Okay, so I will turn off seam allowance. Okay, so grading is, first of all, I need to say the grading is a compromised solution. Okay? It's not a perfect or ideal solution, okay? Because you can't possibly make every size, the samples for every size. So that is why you need to make a compromise setting the base size, okay? So that as that or base size, and then from the base size, you grade smaller and bigger sizes, okay? So biggest size, smallest size, you may find more distortions, okay, but that's unfortunately how it works today. So until some revolutionary um, system appears, we need to resort to this compromise solution. I do see though that now, because 3D technology is advanced, um, I'm hoping that if you simulate the base size on base size avatar, okay, and then it will automatically grade it to smaller, bigger sizes according to the avatar measurements. Like a size 6 avatar, size 8 avatar, size 10 avatar. So the garment will grow bigger and smaller according to the size of the avatar. Okay, so that is something I'm hoping that appears soon. Okay, I'm sure somebody's working on that technology. Anyway, so when you grade, you need to have certain information ready. Okay, very important thing is that uh, size chart. Okay, size chart. When you go to the store, okay, your favorite store, okay, um, or any store you go to, okay. Let's say if you were looking for pants, like a dress pants, okay, and when you go to the store, you will probably see the sizing by numeric sizing. Let's say I'm size 6 or size 8 or size 10. Okay, the pants, dress pants are usually the numeric sizing 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, these are sizing. Okay, then you have, let's say, little more relaxed pants like sweatpants. Okay, then you don't see that numeric grading. It's more like alpha grading, right? Like small, medium, large, or extra large. So it's the letters. Okay, that's a new alpha sizing. And you have a combination of those. Let's say um, um, extra, or the two LX or something like that. It's a combination of letter and alphabet. It's called alphanumeric sizing. So the sizing, you need to know that which sizing system you're going to use. Okay, and so either you do numeric sizing or alpha sizing or numeric alpha sizing. Okay, so you need to know which sizing system you're going to use. Then next you need to know size range. Okay, size range meaning smallest size 0 to largest size 14 or something. So you need to establish the size range. Um, in this country, in the United States, okay, there is no federal regulations when it comes to sizing. Okay, other countries like European Union or Japan or Korea, I think even China, uh, has the regulations when it comes to sizing. Okay, and you have to follow very rigid rule when you put the label. Say, oh, this is size 6. Okay, so what happened is that other countries, uh, they tend to protect consumers more than manufacturers, right? Other countries, whereas here they protect manufacturers more than customers, consumers. Um, so the other countries, you have to follow this chart, many different charts of that, to so that you can label a proper size label, and that is good for the customers because mostly, even though you have different brands, you go to different brands, size usually are more consistent. Yeah. So that's the problem here. 30% of the return online shopping or even the regular shopping, I think 30% return, the reason customer return is that the fit. Okay, is fit too small, too big. It is because the sizing system here is not established as a standard. Every company basically can you know add the label whatever they want. There was the time that is called vanity sizing, and because women feel better when they can get in a smaller size, and so they label that one size smaller size from the real size, but that then found out that is the issue in the apparel industry. So now I think more closer to uh, real size uh, they adopt. So I don't think we have any more like a vanity sizing like before. So yes, again, so you need to know that size range. So it really depends on the brand. If you go to, for example, like a Theory or those little more sophisticated high-end brand, you don't find size 16 pants, right? You probably largest is 12, and then smallest is a 00 like that. Whereas if you go to like a Walmart or like more like a mass market, you don't find a 00 probably. Even you don't find zero, maybe two to maybe size 16. And so because their customers are different. Yeah. So again, so you need to decide whether you want to do, alpha sizing or numeric sizing, and you need to decide size range, okay, smallest, largest size, and so that you need to establish. Okay, so that's the first thing. So let's say we establish in this class, we establish the size range, and for this airline skirt, we will use numeric sizing, like a 0, 2, 4, 6, okay, sizing. And we're going to grade this skirt. And the base size here is, what is base size here? Okay, so if you look at here, when you click this, you see it doesn't do anything. It says 1. That means this is not graded. Okay, so you need to grade this and assign the rule table. It's called rule table, and then you will start grading. Okay, so now what is rule table? Okay, um, so this is called rule table basically. This one has size range for 4 to 20. Okay, and the rule meaning that the movement of XY movement. Okay, so before I'm getting to that, maybe I will explain this first. Okay, this distribution. Okay, uh, if this is, let me assign the rule table first. Okay, if this is, let's say, if this is size 6, for example, okay, and size 6 to size 8, okay, it grow 2 inches, right? Because your size, you're using the size range from odd numbers, 0 to 4, 6, 8. So 2 inches the increase. Okay. So that means from this size to next smaller or bigger size, there are 2-inch difference. Correct? So 2-inch difference for the circumferences. Okay. So um, so if 2 inches growth is 2 inches, okay, this particular piece needs to grow half an inch. Correct? Um, I'm going to show you maybe the graded skirt first. Um, okay, excellent. Okay, sorry. So this will be 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, smaller, bigger. Okay, so it's a quarter inch, and then 3/8 increment. All right. Okay. Okay. So to the next size, bigger size, smaller size. Okay, it grows 1 inch. Okay. So the hip measurement, let's say if it's 36, next size will be 37. Okay. And if it's smaller size, it will be 35. So 1 inch, the circumference become 1 inch smaller. Okay. Uh, yes, just me, you have a question?
Yeah, I have an unrelated question. How do you set it so that every time you open up a new file, you don't have to do the edits to your
Oh,
customized workspace?
okay. So I may have not mentioned to you before, so let me sidestep here. I will explain. Okay. Um, if you get a job, okay, if you have your own computer with this program installed, you don't really need to save setting you know, because it's your computer, right? You will keep the setting when you set, so you don't need to worry about that. Because you are using shared computer on campus, okay, so that's why that how it works is that they will delete that setting that regularly, maybe once a week. I don't know how they often they do. They will revert to default setting. That's why, you know, when you come back next week, you lose the setting you created. Okay, but there is a way to keep the setting, but you need to take a little few steps to do that. Okay, so anybody, if you wanted to keep the setting you set up, you can retain by creating a file. Okay, so let's say this is the setting I created. Okay, if you go to edit, customize preferences, and like a general display or field piece, and then the color that you created, you like that setting, and also you like this screen layout. I like this line grid, and so all that. So you like, so let's say this is your optimal environment that to create or modify pattern. Okay. Then, so you want to keep that. So what you can do is you go back to Accumark Explorer, okay, and then you select File, and I think with Options, okay, Options, okay, and here you can do a few things, okay. So user setting, you see that configuration, storage area, hardware configuration, then you see user settings, okay, and user settings, and you see PDS user setting, okay, PDS user setting. You can export, okay, hotkey probably you don't need to, so export setting only, okay, so you will export setting only, and this .reg, the file. So I will say, let's say PDS setting. I will say save. Okay, so it's saved. Now, if you go to where was that? I think I saved in document, right? Okay. So here is my document. You see, this is I just saved TED PDS setting. Okay, so that's that. Now, so once you have saved the setting, you can either because you are sharing a computer, you can save that in your flash drive or somewhere that is not on your desktop computer. So you save that file somewhere that you accessible, and next time when you come back, okay, you open uh, Accumark Explorer. So first thing you do is you go to, File, Options, right? And then you open, let me close this one here because I opened the other one. So what you do is File, Options, okay, and then go back to user setting. This time you import settings. Okay, so PDS user setting, import settings. Okay, and you click, then it asks you which, then you select the folder you saved, the file you saved. So you select that and say open. Okay, so import finished successfully. So that when you do that, then when you go to open the PDS, you supposedly, okay, you should see that the same setting you saved. Okay, so that's a little extra steps, but that, and you can also uh, keep the setting, and then if you get the new computer, for example, you can recover the setting. So it's a useful feature, but you need to create the file. Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
That was very helpful.
okay. Since I'm here, also, do you see here username? Okay. Usually, company will ask you to create three-letter initials instead of like a full name like this. Okay. This program has a very good tracking system, right? Last modified when created by whom. Okay, so it is good for accountability, right? If something happens, you know who did what when, so that's why it's important. So here, instead of using username, you can do initials. That's why you can set up here. User setting, and you can say use these initials. I will say Ted, okay, and applies. Okay, so now on anything I do, a modify make pattern, you register as three letter I just created. Okay, this is something you can think about. All right, um, great. So let me get back to this grade. So if you know you need to know that the growth of that from side to side. So this particular example I'm going to do is that it grows 1 inch bigger and smaller. Okay, so if the circumferences grow 1 inch, okay, uh, so this is the quadrant. That means this pattern should grow 1/4 inch, right? With the hip, waist, and hem. Okay, so that means you need to increase this. Okay, 1/4 inch, and then you wanted to so in a way that distributed keep the proportion of the pattern. Okay, so if I do this, for example, okay, oh, I just wanted to increase 1/4 inch, so I would just say, oh, okay, I would just make it 1/4 inch bigger. Okay, so that doesn't really work, right? That's not really how the grading should work. So instead of just extending the side, then what happens is that you see the dots should also move, right? Proportionally. Okay. So the proportion is very important. So what you're going to do is that you will distribute the growth. Okay. Um, for example, I'm going to add here and also here in between. Okay. Why it doesn't work? Let me see. Hmm. Oh, I see, because this is different lines. Okay, I get it. So let's say 1/8, right? 1/8. Okay. So from this original skirt, so what I did was I added 1/8, 1/8. Okay. So in between the center front to dark, and in between dark, and then, uh, oh, I think I forgot to second last one again. 1/8, 1/8. Okay. So that is better way to distribute that growth. Okay, so do 1/8, 1/8, so that you can keep the proportion of the original pattern. Okay, instead of just adding the quarter to the side, that's not a really proper, better way, good way to distribute the growth. Okay, so this is basically slash and spread to increase or decrease the width or length of the pattern. Okay, now let's say this usually skirt doesn't have uh, the the growth below the hip line, but I'm going to add this grow 1/4 inch, for example. Okay, so then I would need to do is that in between waist and hip. Okay, I'm going to add, and just the 1/8, for example. Okay, then I added growth. So, so this is called distribution. Okay, now where is the okay? So what you need to decide which where you distribute. Okay, so this is called distribution. Okay, it could be, so you add 1/8, and then the length, for example, if the hip length, the hip depth grows by 1/4 inch, then you do 1/4 inch. If the skirt length grows 1/8, then do 1/8, like this. Okay. So that you need to know first. Then you will distribute where to uh, increase or decrease. Okay. So so then let me get back to this here. Okay. Let's say this point, okay, this front waist point as that base point, 0 point. Okay. So if you see from, if this is the point, it's called 0 point. Okay. Now, if you go to hem, okay, from here to hem, the growth is 1/8, only direction of the negative x, right? If it's 0 point, the center front hem grows negative x direction 1/8. Are you following? If this is 0, the one next size, the hem will move 1/8 toward the negative x direction. Okay. Now, if this is this point, for example, from 0 point, okay, it will move 1/8 total 1/4 inch to the positive y direction. Okay. If this is the point, okay, from 0 point, this point grows not only 1/4 inch in the x y direction, it's also going 1/8 to the x negative direction. So you see the points have the movement, xy movement, right? This is x movement negative 1/8. Okay. This point is 1/4 inch y positive movement, and x is 0 movement. This one is x is minus 1/8, okay, and the y is positive 1/4. Okay, so each point has xy movement in a different amount. That's where rule table is need to make. So if you assign the rule, it's basically it's a number. Okay, if this is 0, let's say this is number 1. So number 1 move x direction negative 1/8, y direction 0, and this, let's say point number 2 moves x direction negative 1/8, y direction positive 1/4. Okay, so you assign the number that moves particular movement, xy movement. Okay, so that is called rule. Okay, um, so I'm sorry, it's a little bit of I feel like I'm not really explaining clearly, but once you actually do your grading with your airline skirt, you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's do that first. Okay, all right. So I like you to make your airline skirt ready, or you can watch my demo and you can do later. Okay, so I have this skirt. Okay, front and the back. Oh, where's my? Actually, I need to get from here. A skirt, tab, A skirt, right here. So I'm going to retrieve this pattern, open, pattern design, and separate work area. Okay. Okay. So these are not graded because you can see here it says number 1. Okay. So it's not graded. If the pattern is graded, here you see when I click this piece, it says 4 because size 4 is a base size. And when you click the arrow, it tells you the range of the grading from smallest 0 to largest 18. Okay, so that you can tell right away, oh, this is graded. Okay, but here my pattern, it says 1. That means grade, it's not graded. Okay, all right. So, very first thing you need to do to grading is that you need to assign the rule table. Okay, assign the rule table. Rule table is in that folder. Okay, so I am going to rule table. Okay, so if you let me clear this. Usually, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you see that rule table. Okay, so I have the rule table TED skirt. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the right one. So if I open this, okay, so you have two tabs at the bottom, rule table and the rules. Okay, so this page is that control the size range. Okay, so smallest size is 2, and then largest size is 18. Okay, and this is base size 8. So obviously my grading is not really correct. Let me see, maybe I can. I think this is the right one. Let's not make sure. There must be something that okay, that's not it. Just give me a second. I tried to. It looks like I lost it. I hope I didn't lose. Hmm. Okay, CTP is code. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That will be the size range 4. Okay, correct. Okay, I found it. Okay. So the rule table is a CTP skirt. Okay, I guess I created this one, right? I created. Okay, all right. So if I open this so-called rule table, okay, it tells you the first tab, rule table, is the size range. Smallest size 0 and the largest is 18, for example. And you decide size 4 as a base, and the size step is 2, or basically even number. Okay. And when you click the rule tab, okay, this is looks now suddenly very complex because yes, um, this is this needs to be set. People think grading is like automatic. That's not true. Okay, you need to establish this chart, the rule. Say basically number 1, 2, 3. Some rule table has even like hundreds, number into hundreds. Okay, so it's very uh, specialized uh, profession, the grading. Okay, it's not something that you can just learn and then do. It's because especially women's wear, it comes in a diverse style, so the grading is very challenging, and so you need more years of experience to do that. Because if you mess up grading, that will be it's create a big problem in production. Okay, it's causing the really financial loss to the company. Okay, so here is basically the rule assigned is rule number 1, number 2, number 3, and then you see this is the XY movement. So you assign this numbers and then enter how that each point regulates the movement of XY movement. Okay, so this one front waist point number one as a doesn't move. Okay, and number two center front hem it moves 3/8 and then Y direction 0. Okay, negative move on negative direction 3/8 and the rule number three side hem moves negative direction X direction 3/8 and the Y direction a positive quarter inch. Okay, so you have to create this every column like this. Then you say and you apply the grade rule table to the garment you grade. So this is the gray rule table that we're going to use, which is CTP skirt. Okay. So when I go back to where I was, this is skirt not graded. You first assign the rule table. Okay. So the company have usually have rule table for jacket, rule table for pants, rule table for denim. So you probably see variety of rule table and then you need to select the one that is appropriate for that garment, the pattern you're working on. Okay, that's usually the standard. Okay, so now I'm going to assign a rule table by going to grade, and all the way to the left you see assign rule table. Okay, you click and then you right click select all, right click OK, and then in this folder, okay, Z drive NCC 200, you have list of rule table appears. So I will select the first one, okay, CTP square, say OK. And using growth amount from original to piece in the work area, say OK, and right click OK. Now suddenly you see the bottom, you see that for size for base size. When you click, you can see that size range. That means its rule table is assigned, but grading has not yet done. Okay, so let me save this first. File, save, right click, select all, and OK. So it's been saved. Okay, now I will assign the rules, which is this one here. So you can look at this one. Okay. So we're going to assign rule number one to front waist, rule number two the front hem, rule number three to the side hem, rule number four to the side hip, and rule number five to the side waist, rule number six to the dart. Okay, so that is we'll assign the rule. Okay. Okay, so how you assign. Okay. Now, when it comes to grading, you don't want to grade front and back separately. Okay. Because you see right now, center front is of the front is this way, the back is an opposite. Okay, but the movement growth, the grading, the growth is the same. So when you grade, you actually change the orientation, make it to the same direction, same orientation. So I need to first change the back orientation as is the front. Okay, so I will go use modify piece action flip, and I will flip to using the x-axis. Okay, click, and so you make it the same orientation. Now, just because you flipped, it doesn't mean you see that orientation still hasn't changed. So after you flip, you will go back to piece action. Now realign and realign grain line. Then I will click and then change the grain line. Okay, so make sure you do that first. Okay. Now we're going to assign the rule table. So I will hide the seam. Okay, and let me start with the front first. Okay, so assign the rule table is the same as edit point. Okay, edit point. So you can go either from the top menu here, edit and point, edit point, or move your cursor in an empty workspace space. Use the right click to edit point info. Okay, that might be faster, right? Right click, edit point info. So you keep this window open, okay, and then push it to maybe somewhere here, okay, and then you're going to select the point, okay, so here. So I'm going to select this point. Instead of just clicking, I will do like this, use a marquee to select the point. The reason why I'm doing this is that this point, okay, is actually the composite of two ends of the two lines, meaning this point is the end point of this line and the end point of this line. Okay, that means actually it has two end points. So that is why if I just click, you may only selecting the end point of this line or end point of this line. So to make sure you're selecting the both ends of the two lines, I will use this to select that point. Okay? So once you select the point and you go to here, point ID, okay? No, here, point ID here. You will enter, oh, here, point ID, D1, okay? See, this is D1. If you see the bottom, it says D1. So you will enter, what was the number? Number 1, okay? Apply, okay? So you don't see the number, so you can turn on the feature, view, okay? View, point, gray rule. Okay, so you can turn this on, view point gray rule, and then click the piece. Okay, so you can see the numbers. Okay, so as you can see, sometimes system adds the numbers randomly like this. Okay, so if you see something like that, let me you can either override or clear the these rules. Okay. All right, so let me go back, right click, edit point info, okay? And now I move on to this point. So select that front hem point. And then right now it's a one lozenge. Instead you enter 2, apply. And then I will select side hem corner. And then enter number 3, apply. And I will select the notch point, that is the side hip, right? Side hip. And I will enter number 4, apply. And sideways, I will select and then enter 5, apply. And the darts, you will see, you will select entire darts from the dot opening to the dot point. You will use the marquee to select that. And you're going to enter here number 6, apply. I said number 6. Number 6. I need to select again. I will select this. And that will be number 6. Apply. So now it changed to 6. Okay. So now you see I assigned the rules just like this, right? Okay. So then I'm going to save this. File, save. Okay. And whether it's been graded or not, you will you go to grade. Okay. Select the grade, and then you will select all sizes, a grade view, all sizes, and then you click the piece and right click OK. Then you can see it's graded. Okay. And you can clear. Okay. And again. So that is Control G to see the grade, and Control H to clear the nest. It's called nest. It doesn't even look like a bird nest, but it is called nest. Okay, you see it's like multiple lines of the different sizes. So that's basically how you grade. Okay, and Control H. You see the numbers, and I will turn the view gray rule off. Then you don't see the number. Okay. Okay, so now what you can do is the same thing for the back. Okay, you will right click edit point info. Okay, and then you do the same thing. Now, often something like this, I would do like this, put overlap like this. Okay, and then you can select multiple same way, and then you can do, uh, you know, you don't need to do it twice. But since this is the practice, we will do it again. Okay, for the back. Again, right click, uh, edit point info. Okay, zoom in, you select the front waist point, and the gray rule D1, you enter 1, apply, and then you will select the hem, center back hem, and you enter number 2, and you select the side hem, enter number 3, okay, and you select the side hip notch as number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you select side waist as number 5, and you select carefully, okay, select the entire dart, and you enter number 6. Okay, so then you check by going to grade, all sizes, click, okay. All right, so when you check grading, you want to make sure that the nest is even, if there's not any, like a funky, like a distortion anywhere. So you need to spot if anything wrong. You need to just check that. Now, when you do when you check, you can see grade, select sizes, for example, and you click this, and you want to only see smallest size, and then the largest size. Holding the control key, you can select the sizes you wanted to see. Then you can see that smallest and largest size to, compare. You can see that uh, darts also moving, so you keep that proportional placement. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, can you try that? And I want you to do that by yourself. And if you have questions, you ask me.
I don't understand only type I can do.
Excuse me. You didn't
Professor,
understand? Yes.
please. I understood this, but I don't understand rule table. How can I do?
Rule table. Rule table is already made.
Yes.
It's here. In our folder, you see CTP skirt. That's the rule table. So you're going to assign before you do grading. Grade, assign rule table, and right click, select all, and then this is your folder. So you should see the CTP skirt. Do you see that? You need to assign this rule table to your airline skirt first. Was that your question?
Professor?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't find CPT skirt in our C folder.
You don't find that
No.
rule table? No.
Yes, we could.
Anybody else also? Well,
Here we can do CTP.
which one do you see among these?
Except
Um,
CTP.
Huh? Do you see CTP?
No.
What do you
Oh,
see? Do you see TED skirt?
yes, everything except CTP.
Yes.
All right. Well, then let's see. Okay, let me do this here then. Okay, everyone, can you do this? Everyone, okay? So let me do this first. Highlight your folder, okay? And then you select import zip, okay? And then you go to T transport, okay? And then you have FFS folder. Then you should see CTP skirt zip. And you say
Yes.
open, and you say open, and say okay. Well, obviously I have overlap, so I would say no, but you should say yes to all. And when you do that, you should see CTP score. Can you try that? So highlight your folder and import zip, and you find the transport and the FFS, and select CTP scout zip and open. And say yes, yes, yes.
Excuse me. I use import zip, and I did not see this transport.
You don't see T?
Till now. I see FFC.
You see FFS?
Yes,
No, can you open that?
yes, I opened. I see CTP skirt.
Zip, zip, yes.
Yes,
Select that and mhm.
okay, open. And pops up a rule table.
Okay, just say okay, okay, okay.
Yes to all or yes, need to
Yes,
select.
yes to all. Yes to
Yes.
all.
Okay, I see now. Thank you.
Okay. Now, can you then try go back to here and then grade assign rule table and right click select all and okay. And now you should see CTP Scout. Hopefully,
Yes, now I can see.
oh great, 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 great. Ah, I guess I learned how to solve the issues. Cancel. I'm muting, sorry. Yes, I'm muting intentionally because I don't want to, you know. Do you have questions? Okay. I like to work on this skirt. Okay, so how are you doing? So next step is that control 8, the waistband. Okay, waistband, you will assign 7, 8, 9, 7 as the center front, and 8 on the right center back, 9 at the left center back, 7 and 7, 8, 9. So here, so right now, this was right click, edit point info. So I would zoom in, I would just select the center front with the marquee like this, and I will override with, what was it again? 7, right? 7, apply, and this will be 8, right? 8, apply, and then this will be 9, apply. Okay, and let me check Control G for grade, view all sizes. Yes, it's been graded. All right. How are you doing? So if you think about that, you just have to edit points basically, but then you need to know the rule table. Okay?
Professor,
Mm-hmm.
you probably told us about it, so I just wanted to remind. When you have orientation, it's like same orientation front and back. When you set up the rule table assign, can you do it like front and back together at the same time, or
You
just
mean the skirt?
individually? Yes.
Skirt? Yes. Um, like I said,
Uh-huh.
let me see. I will delete the rule table. Okay, so if you want, let's say you have the pattern that grading is applied, but you don't want a grading,
Uh-huh.
sometimes it happens like that. So you can eliminate the grading like this. Right click, edit point info, right?
Uh-huh.
And you select all pattern parts with this,
Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then in D1, you enter -1. at -1, apply, and then it disappears, right? So you can clear the grading like that. Yeah, you need to enter -1. So now I will overlap like this. Okay. Edit point info, and you select, this is 1, and this will be 2. What did I do? Control 8. Control edit point, and so select that. See, number 3, and this will be number 4, and this will be number 5, and this you select both dots like that, and it'll be 6. Then you see you did that
Together.
just like, yeah, together like that. Oh, there is also the copy function, grade. I don't remember how to do actually. Maybe it's edit point, edit. Copy rule. There's something about copying. Rule. Edit. Grade. There's somewhere copy rule. If you can see. Grade point. Copy. Copy grade rule. Select the reference point, which is this one. And let's see if I do that. So it changed to 1. So you can copy one to the other. Do you know what I'm saying? So that is a grade. Modify copy grade rule. So let me clear this then. Edit point info. -1. Okay, so when you use grade copy grade rule, and then it's select the one, the original, and then select the target, and okay, so it will copy like that. I'm not sure how useful that is, but
I don't know. I don't really usually do the gradings at our company. So this is something like I don't doing it normally. But yeah, it's good to know just for the reference.
Yeah, copy rule. And there is, you can copy the entire rule. It's one entry. I don't remember how it does. It's needed. Grade. Copy rule. What's it? Okay, I need time to refresh, but that's something that you can do, the copy.
Thank you.
And the rule, copy.
Professor, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Oh, I'm trying to edit the point, and I put the number, but it didn't appear the number.
But you need to enter the number.
Yes, I did.
Like here, like
and I
this.
apply, yes.
And
Yes,
here,
and I put number.
Apply.
And then apply. Yes.
Oh, yes. But you need to turn view point grade rule on.
View and
View point
grade
grade rule. And then.
Oh, I see. Yes, now I can see. Thank you.
Yes.
Professor, can we have a little break, like bathroom
Yes,
break?
I need to go bathroom too. So let's have
Thank you.
a quick break. Let me go to bathroom too. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop recording. Let me